Okay, so welcome to this month's webcast on membership setup. The purpose of this webcast is to introduce you to or provide you with an overview of the membership settings. When we create or edit a membership, you may not completely understand what each of those settings and fields do in the membership module. So after this webcast, hopefully, you will have a better understanding of the membership type settings and fields and how they impact your membership types. This is a reminder that these webcasts aren't training sessions, but are an overview. So if you do want further in-depth training, feel free to follow me up afterwards for more information. We do record them as well, as Marla mentioned, so they will be available for you to review later on. So this topic is quite extensive. Membership setup is quite massive and it can be very involved. So I actually, I've only got 45 minutes today, so I won't be able to cover everything about membership setup, but really I'm focusing on an introductory overview of the main settings you need to be aware of and how they impact your memberships. So we will work on how your members versus memberships work, the membership categories and the membership types, as well as all those settings within the membership type today. So we'll start with a little explanation around the difference between members and memberships, because this question still does come up sometimes. So it's a little refresher that members are a person. They're always a contact in the database in the people section. But a membership is what they're entitled to. It's what the holder has access to in your association services. Okay. So the membership is what's being paid for. The holder of a membership can either be a person or a company. Okay. So that's the difference between members and memberships, and they are sitting in different spots in the back end of the, Association Online as well. So that then leads us to individual versus organisational memberships. These are essentially the two types of memberships you can offer. Individual being related to a single member or contact. An organisational membership is purchased by a company, but there does need to be a person attached to that membership, known as the primary contact. They receive renewals, they can determine members, and they can receive all the emails as well. Some associations only offer individual memberships and some only offer organisational memberships, some is both. It's up to you which ones you decide to use. So we'll start with looking at the membership categories. Membership categories can be used to explain your various membership types and help organise your membership types. They explain what types of membership are included, so you can use that to explain on the website and have it published on the website as well. All you need to do to create a category of membership is name it and provide a short description. So we'll go into My Training system now, and I'll show you that. When you first come to the members section in the admin interface, you have a membership section on the left. And underneath that, we have the members and memberships. Okay, so you'll have your list of members and your list of memberships. Okay, the view in both, they're slightly different. You can see memberships, you see information relating to the membership itself, the status, the type, the dates that it starts and expires, etc. Today, though, we're going to work in the setup area. We're going to just focus on the membership types listed here. So we're working in setup under membership types. In my membership types, I have two categories, labeled individual and company. Okay, so under individual, this is a category because it tells me there are 5 types of membership sitting within this category. And there's a little expand collapse box next to it, so I can collapse the category and expand it to view the membership types. You also know this is a category because there's no information in the columns to the right except an edit box, so you can edit the category. So if I click on that, it opens up into a pop-up window opens, and it's the category form. So the title, as I mentioned, to create a category, you just need to label it, title it, and put a bit of a description in the content area if you're displaying this category on the website. Okay, so you can put a bit of a description. What kind of membership types are included in this category? The order index field is the order that the categories will display in the admin interface and on the website. Okay, so you label it, add a number to order the categories in the website. And this is how you will delete a category. So you need to click into the category and click on the delete button if you need to delete it. So that's the categories. Okay, I know a number of associations that might only have one category of membership type, but you need to have at least one category for membership types to sit underneath. Okay, so membership types, you need to create them by clicking on the new type button, or you edit them by clicking on the membership type label. You can copy membership types as well. So some of you may not be aware of that. If you do have similar membership types, but you just need to edit some finer details, you can copy an existing membership type and edit it. We're going to create a new membership type for this webcast today and explain some of the settings you would need to action for each of those membership types. So we're going to go through that first. I'm going to create a new type. So you can either create a new category or a new type using the orange buttons below the list. When I click on new type, it displays a bunch of tabs across the top. Okay, your site might look slightly different. You may not have all of the same tabs that I have. Okay, so the membership type tabs will differ based on your particular setup. The tabs in my training site include 4 standard tabs, which are settings, pricing, member benefits, and public display. Everybody has those. But I also have 2 extras, prerequisites and CPD goals. Okay, I'll give you more detail about those later. I'm not going to explain all the elements of it, but it is an overview. So we use those tabs to complete the membership type settings, but there is also one tab that's not currently displaying, which is the emails tab. Some of you will already know how to access that. Once the type of membership has been saved, see there's an option here, it says save for further options, an emails tab will come up. Now, in the settings tab, this is the first tab, and it contains most of the information that you need to complete and most of the fields that you need to complete for your membership type setup. Now, it's quite extensive. It's a long tab, so I am going to break it down into 4 sections today. Okay, so we'll do it bit by bit. So in the first section, we have things like category, title, what order you want it to display in, which sign-up and renewal forms you're using, what kind of membership type is it, and other member additions relating to organisational memberships. So I'm going to go into the back end and create a new membership, and we'll go through those fields. All right. So I'm in my settings tab in my membership type form, and I'm going to create an individual membership today. I'm just going to call it best membership. The order index is, what order do you want this membership to display in on the website or also in the admin interface within this category. Okay, so you just put a number in. Then these 3 fields are required fields: sign up form, renew form, and edit details form. They have to be, you have to add a form in here for it to save. Okay, it is required. Now, most of you may know that you do need to create the sign-up forms first before you can add them in here. Okay, it's pulling from a drop-down list from the sign-up forms that you will find in the left-hand side in the submenu. So these are forms I've already created in the past. So I'm just going to select a sign-up form, a renewal form, and an update details form. What type of membership is it? It's an individual. So therefore, some of the fields below may be grayed out, like maximum members, for example. If I change it to organisation, I can now fill in the maximum members field because that's relating to organisational memberships. Just going to go through a couple more fields here for section 1. Allow multiple memberships. Are we allowing our members to sign up to this membership type more than once? Okay, can they have multiple memberships under this membership type? In my case, in most experiences I've come across, a lot of them don't, but you may have subscription-based memberships that they can sign up for multiple subscriptions. That could be done as well. Maximum members is, how many secondary members are they allowed to have in an organisational membership. So if there's a company membership and you're saying you can have, as part of this company membership, you can have 5 members. Okay, so the 5 people in your company can get the membership benefits as part of this membership. Or you just keep it as 0 if there's no limit. Auto add members from the organisation. This is a fairly new field. Oh no, this one's been here for a while. The next one's a fairly new field. Auto add members from the organisation is used for organisational memberships as well. This one means that when you come to an organisational membership and you see a list of people that you can be members because they're assigned to that company. Okay, this box, if you tick this box, the people assigned to that company will display in the list. So you can actually make them members or admins of the membership. If you deselect it, they won't come up in the list. They need to be manually added. I'm going to give you an example. I'll show you an example. I've got a organisational membership in here called ABC Network. Okay, this is a company membership. Okay, if I look at the list of members on the members tab, actually they weren't a member before. I'll just save that. Sorry, this was what would happen. The list of members would display in the members tab. You can see this one has a maximum of 20 members. That was we put a limit on how many members could be a part of this membership. Then we have one person, Count Dracula, is a member, he's an administrator, and he's the primary contact. Then we have 2 others listed from the company, but they're not members of this membership. Okay, but they are still part of the company. So that box being ticked, auto add members from the organisation, means that they'll display in the list. And it means that Count Dracula will see them in the list on the website when he goes to My Memberships as well. And he can go, oh, look, I'll add Fred and Betty to this membership when he logs in and goes to My Memberships. Okay. So that's what the field auto add members from the organisation does. And the last one in this section I'm going to show you is the members can change primary contact. And again, this is also relating to those organisational memberships. As I just showed you, Count Dracula is the primary contact. What this means is that members can change the primary contact, meaning that administrators and primary contacts of a membership can decide and change who the primary contact is of that membership. They can do it themselves on the website. Okay. So if you don't want them to manage their own primary contacts within their membership or within their company, you can deselect that box. Something else to note, in your system, your fields might be in a different order or labelled differently as well. So this is a standard order that you would see the fields in most systems, but you might have some in a different format or different order, but at least you'll have an idea of what each of those fields do. Okay, the second section. What we're looking at in the second section is things like your length of membership, your expiry conditions, how many minimum membership days there are, and any approval options if required. So let's fill in the second section, which is here. We have a life membership. So obviously if you select life membership, the length of the membership is now grayed out, and I cannot fix an expiry date. I cannot select an expiry date in here. Okay, but this one I'm going to say no, it's not. It's not a life membership. How long does the membership go for? You know, most of them are 12 months, but you do have some that go longer. You can just change how many months they are. Enable fixed expiry date. So this is where you determine what the expiry date will be. Is it as aligned with the previous date on renewal, so like an anniversary date? Or are we creating a fixed expiry? You know, the end of financial year is a common one. Okay. Or do not fix the expiry date. You know, just don't have an expiry date. Okay, I'm going to have a fixed expiry date today. I'm going to say it's the 30th of June. The minimum membership days. Now, let's say it is my fixed expiry date is the 30th of June, but I'm a new member and I want to sign up on the 30th of May, a month out. Now, I would have to pay the full, unless it's prorated. I'm not going to explain prorated today, but unless the membership is prorated, I'm going to have to pay the full amount of membership for 12 months, but I'm only going to get a month's worth of my membership before I have to renew and pay for next year. So the minimum membership days allows you to give them a little bit of leeway and say, look, we'll give you 30 days for free, basically. And if you sign up within that 30 days of the expiry date, then you will pay for next year's membership. Okay, and it will give them a year and 30 days. Then we have the 3 approval fields. Do you require approval when someone signs up? So as an administrator, when you tick this box, it means that you have an approval box available within a membership. Okay, so the approval fields will display. Do we need approval for renewal or upgrade? Or both or none? Up to you. And the last field I'll show you in section 2 is the automatic membership expiry. Okay, they're ticked by default, which means that the system will expire that membership automatically if they haven't renewed on the fixed expiry date or the day after the fixed expiry date. Okay, if you deselect, the membership won't expire, it will always remain active. Now, another thing you can do in this system, if you're not sure of how you might use these fields, is by clicking on the question mark next to the field to say, it tells you what that field does. Okay, sign up requires approval. I'm just going to scroll to the bottom and save before I move to the next, because you never know. Okay, the third section is your statuses. Okay, there are 3 different status requirements. Well, there's more than that, there's about 12, but based on 3 different actions. So the new signups, renewals, or upgrades. So we need to set the status. What status will this membership sit at when this action occurs? Let's have a look. So new membership status for an online payment, you know, is generally a credit card payment. You might set it as pending approval or active, depending on your approval requirements. New membership status for an offline payment. They've chosen to pay direct deposit. You might have pending approval and payment, or just pending payment. If no payment is required, so you've created them a new membership in the admin system, you can say, oh, look, I'm giving them a free membership. They can be active. New membership status, auto marked payment received. So when you mark the payment received for an offline payment method in the commerce module, the status will automatically change to whatever status you place in here on their membership. So I'm going to say active. So if they pay, it's going to be active, or you can say, well, we'll still require approval. Okay, your choice. Now, again, your statuses, I'm going to do similar statuses for renewal and upgrade, but your statuses might be slightly different. You might even have a status in the system called financial instead of active. It can be renamed. There is a section in the setup called statuses, and you can create and set your own statuses. The only statuses I say to be a bit careful with, you can't actually delete them, is the active and expired statuses. They are determined by the system. Okay, so the system action statuses. But the other statuses are all editable by you. You can delete them. You can change the color of the background of the status. Okay, so you can relabel them. Okay, so I'll just finish off my statuses for renewals and upgrades. I might say pending approval. Pending approval and payment and active. Beautiful. Okay, that's the easy part. The fourth section, the last section of the settings tab, relates to the renewal and expiry processes. Okay. These settings allow you to customize renewal dates and expiry emails, okay, on each membership type. I'm actually going to explain each of these settings in a bit more detail rather than just fill them in. I'm going to give you some more detail through some diagrams because these settings can sometimes confuse people that are using the system in terms of how they work for you. So I'm going to start with the renewal status, the field delay renewal status until the expiry date. What does it mean when you tick this box? Have a look at the diagram displayed here. What this means is that when the membership is open for renewal, okay, the renewal period is open and the member renews their membership prior to the expiry date, the new status may be pending payment or pending approval. However, they may still have another 20 days until their original expiry date. Therefore, you don't want their status to change to pending while they still have some time left. So by ticking this box, you will delay any status change until the original expiry date. Okay, it won't change until after that date. Now, obviously, if they paid on credit card and the status for renewal would be active, there wouldn't be a change required. It would just continue on as active. But for those that pay with an offline method of payment, you may need to delay that renewal status. So therefore, we'll go in, I didn't put the length in my memberships. Let's do that. We'll go into the back end and we'll tick that box, delay the renewal status until expiry date. That's what that means. Excellent. This diagram explains the renewal window. The two fields that open and close the renewal button on the website, which are days renewable before expiry and days renewable after expiry. So you need to enter the number of days before and after expiry that a member can renew themselves on the website, that the renewal button will display and disappear after those particular or before and after those dates. Okay. So often, sometimes you might have a month out. You give them a month before and maybe 2 months after expiry. Access days after expiry. This is for you to decide how many days of free membership access to the website will you give them after their membership has expired. Note that this means access to members only sections on the website. It doesn't include discounts. It doesn't include event discounts. It doesn't include store discounts. It is just members only website sections. So you need to choose how many days are you going to give them extra access, just to, you're giving them a little bit of a leeway. Let's give them a little bit of extra time, okay, if you want to be nice and they haven't paid you yet. So I'm going to say 7 days for my membership. I'm just going to give them an extra week. Beautiful. The next fields I want to look at are the 3 pre-expiry warning emails that can be enabled, edited, and sent from the system. So before expiry, okay, we've got days renewable before expiry, and we can send up to 3 emails. They're optional. You can send up to 3 to warn them that their membership's about to expire. Here's how you renew, and click on the links. There are 3 things that trigger these emails though. It's not just this setting. There are a number of other things that trigger these emails to be sent. The first one is to identify when those emails are going to be sent in the membership type. The second one is you need to enable those emails in the default emails or in the customized emails. And the third one is that the ASI team need to set the scheduled task to run. We have to set the trigger to run. If we don't set it, those emails won't be sent. So let's have a look at that. Okay, so step 1 is determining these 3 emails, first expiry warning, second and third. When are we sending them? How many days before expiry do we want the first email to go out? Some people get confused around this, and I'm going to explain what best practice I believe to do here is to set the first expiry email to go out the same time that the renewal window is open. Because at the moment, if I set it for 90 days, I'd say I'm going to send this email 90 days before expiry, but the actual renew button isn't going to display for another 2 months. Okay, so members will get confused. They'll get an email saying, click here to renew, and they won't be able to renew online. So I'm going to set it for 30 days before, and maybe send the second one 15 days out and the third one a week before expiry. Now, if you don't want to send all three, you might go, it's the email overkill. We don't need that many emails. You can just change them to 0 and they won't be sent, okay? Or disable them. So that's the first step. The second step is to edit, enable, and edit the emails in the emails tab. So you can use default emails. So I can see that the emails in this membership type at the moment are all default emails, so you can see in the modified column. Okay, but if I click on first expiry warning reminder, and I might edit something in it. I meant to hit save and return. I just hit save. I'll just save and return. Oh, I can now see that this email is customized. It's customized for this membership type only. Okay. So you need to either, so for those emails to be sent, they need to be turned on. And then as administrators, I will show you this because ASI staff can access this, but it's important if you're thinking, why are our emails not going out? We've set them up, we've turned them on, and we're ready to go. We need to check your scheduled tasks are being run. Most of the time they should be, and we can set it to run every day so that every day the system will look for what emails are due to be sent. Send expiry warning emails. Okay, so contact the support team if you do need help around that. Let's go back to my membership type. Here we are. Okay, so that's the 3 pre-expiry warning emails. Okay, but we also have steps you can do post-expiry. There is an email triggered at the time that the membership is expired. Okay, there's an email. The day after expiry, the expiry trigger changes the status and sends an email. Then we have 3 post-expiry emails that you can send. So again, it might be email overkill. You might say, look, we've sent them 3 emails before. They've got an expiry email and we're sending them another 3 emails. It's up to you. The choice is there. And it's the same process to trigger those emails, the same process as the pre-expiry emails. Decide how many days after expiry you'll send them, turn them on and enable them and edit them, and the scheduled task needs to be run. So in my membership type, I'm going to say, let's send the first expiry reminder a week later, and 30 days and up to 60 days, because if you remember, my renewal window closes after 60 days. The next setting is the archiving process. So the system can auto archive your memberships, any old memberships in your system. Archiving a membership doesn't delete or remove it completely. It just files it away in case you need to restore it or retain it for any reason or historical information. So you need to decide how many days after expiry you would like to auto archive old memberships. Okay. And the membership is then moved to the archives folder. So you need to tick the box to say, yes, I would like to archive my old memberships, please. You can do it for me. I don't want to manually archive any old memberships. And I'm going to say, give them a year. And if they haven't renewed, haven't updated their membership, we can auto archive them. Now in my system, you can see I've got some other settings underneath that. These are related to scheduled payments. They are not related to today's training session. They're scheduled payment settings only. That will be another webcast in future. Awesome, that's the settings tab. That's the hard part. That's the hardest part. The rest is easy, really. The pricing tab. The pricing tab is where you add all of your pricing options and invoice information for your membership type. So let's look at that. There's a couple of things you need to do in the pricing tab. Not as many fields as the settings tab. The first field is the most important. It's where you're going to add the pricing options. You can have multiple pricing options in one membership type. And I know a number of you, a number of associations do use it. You know, you might have an organisational membership and you offer different pricing options based on the size of the organisation. So 0 to 5 staff, or 5 to 10 staff, 6 to 10 staff, whatever it might be. And those pricing options will display on the website too. We have the payment group. So if you have, it would default to the global default payment group in your system, but if you have multiple payment groups, you can choose the relevant payment group from the list. Okay, because maybe you decide memberships can be paid via credit card and check, but you have a separate payment group for events where they can only pay on credit card. So that would give you different payment groups. The GST status, is it inclusive, exclusive, or exempt for this membership type? Do we want to apply GST to international memberships? I've never seen that used myself, but they may have at some point. GST can be applied to international memberships as well. This information, and this is an important part to show you because a lot of people get confused about what displays on the invoice, and it's a lot of the information on the invoice is pulled from this section. So do you want to show the start and end date on the invoice, which is the start date and end date of the membership? Do you want to show the contact name on the invoice? Do you want to show the company name on the invoice or the category of membership on the invoice? So if I have a look at an invoice, I'll just choose a membership invoice I might have in here. I've got all events and here we go. Let me just pick a membership invoice and I'll show you what I mean. So it is what is displaying in this description. So I've got the contact name, the company name, the membership category, and the membership type, and the expiry dates, start dates and expiry dates. Okay, so if I was to remove the company name, if I deselected that box, the company name won't display on the invoice anymore. Okay, so that's what triggers what's displaying in the description field. Okay, is coming from these boxes here. Then we have two fields where you can apply in your pricing options a early renewal discount. So you can give them a discount for renewing early, being early birds, or a late renewal price as well. So you can say there's a fee for late renewal. So how many days before expiry does that early renewal discount end? And how many days after expiry does your late renewal start? Okay, so you can apply pricing options there. I'm not going to for today's training. But I want to show you the pricing options and how to fill in the pricing labels. Okay. I'll just go back to my pricing tab. Here I have a link. I can click on this link for default and open up in a window, pop-up window, my pricing option. I can relabel that. I might just call it best one. Okay, you can relabel your pricing option. It does display on the website too what your pricing option is. What order do you want this pricing option to display in within the membership? So if you have multiple pricing options, you may have to reorder them. Then we have our cost items. What's the cost to sign up? What GST status is it? If it is different GST to the default one that's in the membership type, you can apply a special GST status to this pricing option. Is the pro rata suitable? You know, I might say let's pro rata this membership on a monthly basis because it does have a fixed expiry. This is sign up, and we can add our codes. These are relating to your accounting software, so if you have special codes for this membership type pricing option, you can pop your codes in. Same with renewal. And if there's a joining fee, you can apply a joining fee, early renewal discount, late renewal fee, And if you have scheduled payments, you can apply an admin fee for that too. There are a couple of fields underneath that called sign-up form cost items and renewal form cost items. If you have special costs on those forms, you can configure them. I'm not going to show you that today. That's more of an advanced membership setup session. We'll cover that in another time. But I will show you there is another section at the bottom that you can apply a custom cost item for this pricing option. Some people use this particular field for things like, you know, you might get a name badge or something. And it's going to be an extra $10, but it's part of the membership. Everybody that applies for this membership or signs up under this membership will be getting a name badge, and it's going to cost them $10 as well. Okay, on sign up. Let's just say that. Okay, so once you've saved your pricing option, you can click on the X to go out of it, and you can see my pricing option is displayed there. You can also see from the pricing option field how many members are part of this pricing option. You can add more by using the Add Pricing Option button, and once you have multiples, you can actually delete them as well. So that's the pricing options. Beautiful. So the next tab across is the Member Benefits tab. We use this tab to add your member access groups or certificates if relevant, but this is where you provide membership-based benefits to them based on their status. You can also add upgradable memberships and member subscriptions as well. There's a few things you can do in the Member Benefits tab, and again, my system might look different to yours. I have membership certificates, you may not, as an example. So when you come to the Member Benefits tab, the default status is active, so it's highlighting on active at the moment, and it's saying, what benefits will these members get when they're in active status? Do I want to give them a purchase order? I let them use purchase orders. Do I want to apply a special discount? Do I want to give them access to certain websites, you know, web pages by using the access groups? So I'm going to say, yep, they're going to be part of the members access group. Do I want to give them post nominals as part of this membership? And do I want them subscribed to the members only subscription? So if I click on expired status, you can see all of those elements that I just added in here are no longer there. So when they're expired, they lose all their benefits. But when they're active, you can see their benefits are back. So some associations also are happy to provide benefits based on if their status is, say, pending payment. They may not have paid yet, but they've created an invoice, so they're planning to pay. You can say, yes, they can have access, even if they're pending payment. Okay, so you can manage that. Scrolling down, we have membership certificates, so we can apply whatever membership certificate is relevant. If you have them, they are an optional extra feature in the system. Then we have some upgradable options. So do we want to let them renew or upgrade to other pricing options of this membership type? So at renewal time, can they go to a different pricing option in this membership type? That means, so if you had that company membership where you said, oh, you've got 0 to 5 employees or 1 to 5 employees, 6 to 10 employees, let's say, you know, Joe Bloggs's little company has gone from 5 employees to 6 employees, so he can upgrade to the next pricing option. Then we have other upgradable memberships. These are all my membership types in the system, and I'm going to say, yep, they could upgrade to another membership type, not just another pricing option. You know, they can go to a full membership. Beautiful. The last tab I want to explain to you is the Public Display tab. It's where you identify if the membership type is publicly available on the website. So you can decide whether it's displayed for users to sign up or renew their membership through the website. You can also add membership descriptions in this tab as well. Okay, so this is what's displaying on the website. So we're choosing under the public display, yes, we want this to be publicly available. Some of you may have membership types that you only use for admin purposes, or you create them yourselves, so you may not have them public. Visible in public type lists means that it will be displayed in a category, a list under the category. Okay. Otherwise, if it's not, then you have to give them the link to access it. Some people do that. Do we want to enable online sign up? Yes, we're letting them sign up online. We're letting them renew online. So I'm ticking those boxes. The second last one is enable online renewal without updating details. What this field does, when I select it, it actually creates a quick renew button on the website, which means that they can click on a renew button and go through the renewal form, fill in the form, and then go through the shopping cart. But if they click on quick renew, the system's going to assume that they're just under the same membership type, the same pricing option, and take them straight to the shopping cart without them updating their details or filling in a renewal form. Okay, so it is up to you whether you decide to use that. You're like, yes, my members are time poor. I don't need them to fill in their details every time they renew. You can select that option. If you think every time our member renews, I want them to fill in a form, update their details, change some information, don't let them have that quick renew button. And then the last field in this section is enable update details. So that enables the update your details tab in the My Memberships area on the website. I'm just going to show you that. Okay, so under My Memberships, update details tab's displayed because that's ticked. Okay, if you deselect it, there won't be a tab for them to update their details with the update details form. Then we have a few fields for content. Okay, you can add some descriptions about the membership. So you can use the list description to provide a short snippet of information about this membership type. So it has a read more link. So if there's more than one membership type in a category, there'll be a list of membership types with a little bit of a short description with a read more link. Then you have page content. Actually, it helps if I can spell. Explain what this membership type is about, you know, benefits, details, etc. Okay, you've got your WYSIWYG editor. You can format it, add images, links, whatever you need to do. There is some content displayed after sign up. You know, thank you for signing up as a best member. And a bit of a renewal description and content after renewal as well. So you can, I'm not going to go through all of that in detail, but you can add some content. What that means, if I go to the front end, if I go to the website and I go to membership, join, okay, my URL up the top is called /membership. And the information displaying on this page is pulling from the membership area. It's not a web content section. It's coming from that membership area that I showed you. You have a membership homepage where you can have your categories displayed. Okay, the categories will only display if you have public memberships displaying in them. Okay, there's my category description, and I can click on read more and see a list of membership types underneath with a short description. Here it is. Best membership. Okay, you get an explanation, you get the details of the membership, the cost, and then the link to sign up with the sign up form because I've allowed online sign up. So that's what the public display tab does. The last two tabs, I'm not going to explain in detail because it's not relevant for everybody. It's a prerequisites tab, allows you to identify if the membership type has a prerequisite membership required. So as a full member, you may need to have been a student member first. So that's the prerequisite. The system will not allow them to sign up as a full member if they aren't an active student member already. So that allows you to set those standards. And the CPD tab allows you to apply relevant CPD goals on membership sign up or renewal, or as a requirement for membership sign up or renewal. So if you use the CPD module, you can apply CPD goals to the membership. The last tab I'm going to explain about is the customized emails tab. I actually just showed you this before, but each membership type has its own email tab, so you can customize every membership email content specific to that membership type if you wish. Okay, so you don't have to use the default emails for everything. You can customize them slightly. So that is how you create a membership type. In review, we have covered today the following: members versus memberships, membership categories, membership types, the settings, the pricing, benefits, a public display, and some custom emails. Hopefully now you have a bit of a better idea on how your membership settings work as an overview. And if you do, as I mentioned, if you do have further questions specific to your setup, because everyone's is different, you may wish to organise some coaching or training or further support. We do have some resources you can use to follow up on this, and some of you may have already looked at them, but please note that there are some membership tutorials in the client support portal. You click on videos. When you get to the support center, just click on videos and you'll be able to find the Association Online membership videos. There is a section in there labeled membership settings, and it does give you that information about each of those tabs as well. But also in the videos, the webcast, this recording will be uploaded in the next few days. So the next webcast we're running, the 22nd of May, we're going to look at the e-knowledge repository, which is your document, a place for you to have a searchable document library of resources for your members. So it's an overview of the module. And on the 26th of June, we are looking at order management. So it's a basic how to manage your financial transactions and orders that come through the system. Thanks everyone for coming today, and I will take some questions now if Marla's got some questions.